Okay, hey guys. Um, so today I want to go over some results that I've got for testing my blood sugar and eating certain foods. Right now we're looking at my logbook that's running from the 8th to the 21st of July of 2020. And you can see right here it starts on Wednesday, 7/8, and goes all the way down to 7/21. And then on the next page, we got 7/22 to 8/4. And the day that we're looking for here is that on Friday, 7/31 is when I did my first test. And what I want to point out here is that if you see Friday at, let's see, we can zoom in. Let's zoom, oh, hold on. I'm still getting used to this software. So if we go right here we go. You can see on Friday, 7/31, which is right here, I had trouble with my blood sugars. I had trouble with my blood sugars that night, running high all the way up. And so I did corrections. And these right here are corrections. Okay? So those are correction amounts that I did. Still, sorry again, I'm still trying to get used to this software. So these are correction boluses. Okay, so again, we got the two corrections right here. Oops, this is gonna take some definite. So if you're trying to figure out what's going on, I'm looking at my computer screen, which is right here. Now, ideally, I'd have the camera directly in front of me, I guess. So as I'm looking, I'd look more like I'm looking at you, but I haven't figured out how to do this yet. So this is going to take some getting used to, but we're working on it. Oop. So pull this over. We're going to go right here again. So on Friday in the morning, I tested my blood sugar at 63. Now, this doesn't tell the exact time, but I do have it marked down for myself. And I had the high blood sugars. I had corrections going, and you can see the insulin working. And then this correction brought me back down. Now, for my breakfast, I had my typical Anabolic French toast. That's by Greg Doucette. And that French toast with 300 grams of strawberries and 180 grams of blueberries comes out to 81 carbohydrates. Not net carbs, just straight up carbohydrates. So as you can see right there, I marked in my 81 grams of carbs, and that provided me with a 210 bolus amount for that meal. Okay, so I took this at about 9 in the morning, and I waited till about 9:30 before I ate. So I want to show you. Now we're going to scroll down, and right here you can see that blood sugar. Okay, so this is all the correction that I had over the night. So I took the insulin, and right below it you can see, so see right here and right here is it showing the correction amounts that I took. Okay, so I took 3 units. I added a unit extra here. This was supposed to be 0.5. I added another 1.5 units. And then you can see it's slowly coming down, and eventually it does come down quite a bit until it starts to equal out right about at this point here. Okay, so that's about where it starts to add out or equal out, about 8:30, 8:35 in the morning. So I then looked at my my pump, and I knew I was going to take 81. So if you're noticing the time frame here, okay, kind of line this up, it's right about there, right? So at about 9 o'clock is when I decided I was going to make my food. This is when I took the insulin, okay? And then here at 63, when I checked, is when I actually began to eat. So I waited about 20 minutes, 25 minutes before I started eating. So there was 81 carbs. It was a 2.1 bolus. And this basal rate right here, I'm not sure if you can see that, is 1 unit per hour is what I'm on. And you see it starts going up. So right here you can see the trend goes up a little bit each time. And then it's running at this 1 the whole time. And then later on in the day I have it set to go back down, and it slowly drops down throughout the night. So all kinds of stuff going on. But then right here I have the 63. That's when I begin to eat. Okay, so that's when I started eating. And again, that's 81 carbs. It's French toast. It's got egg whites. I can't tell you. You can watch the video by Greg Doucette where he shows you how to make this stuff. It's delicious. I use sugar-free jelly or sugar-free syrup. Again, 300 grams of strawberries. Strawberries have a very blueberries and strawberries are about the same on the glycemic index, but the glycemic load between the two is different. Blueberries are slightly higher, so that causes that large spike that you're seeing right about here has a lot to do with the blueberries. But I want you to notice two very important things, and one of which is this number right here is my 70s, and this number right here is 180, kind of the zone I want to stay in. And that green line is pretty much 120. That's my perfect number. So you see with that insulin, I started going down slightly, right? So right there, just started to dip, and then the food kicks in. So it doesn't take very long after you start eating for your blood sugar to start going back up. That's, if we cut this into halves, we would say that right about here, let's see if we get I lost my cursor. Oh, it's over on the other screen. So let's do this again. Trying this new software. So right about here, we'll say here, about 9:30ish. So if we cut this again, just about in half, right? So there's about 9:45, we'll say, rough guesstimate. But you'll see it. I took my insulin right here. So my blood sugar kind of is wobbly up and forth. Now this is with the CGM. It's going to change. It's this is how these things work. Is they take a sample every 5 minutes. Okay, good enough. So we can see that the blood sugar starts to go down, and in about 15 minutes in, or excuse me, about a half hour in, I start to go down fairly rapidly, and I eat. About 15 minutes later, the blood sugar starts to go up. Now, if we go from time of eating, which is right there, to time of spike, which is right here, that's a little over an hour. I'd put that at maybe an hour and 10, an hour and 15 minutes. So for argument's sake, we'll say 1 hour and 15 minutes, right? For that amount. And then it kind of equals out. And then if we look here, we go from about 9:20 to 10:20 to 11:20, and it's starting to come back down. So 2 hours after I eat, blood sugar is starting to drop again. And then, so 3 hours later, 9:20 to 10:20 to 11:20 to 12:20 is where it's really coming down hard. Now, you can see over here where I have a second number, which is the 62. This is my other meal, which is 4 hours later. So 9 to 10 to 11 to 12 to 1, right? There's our 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 hours later is when I decide to do my next meal, just so for the experiment case, which has some potatoes, with sweet potato, chicken, and broccoli. where I check my sugar and I eat shortly thereafter. But this trending that kind of keeps going right here, everything below that, tells me that my basal rate was probably a little too high. In a perfect world, my blood sugar would never, let's clear this, my blood sugar would never leave kind of this zone. I'd like it to stay right about, no, that's too much. Oops, sorry. I would like it to stay more like in here. So that green line is 120. I would kind of prefer it sticks right about there. That's what I'm going for. Below is okay. I don't like the 63s. You know, I don't like that. I don't like this. I don't like that 62 right there. So there's a couple that I don't like, right? 63 there. 62 there. These guys at night, definitely not feeling those. That's perfect. That's what I want right there. Hanging at that number, just what I'd like, which is good, as you can see on that trend. After eating my lunch, this is where I go to do my evening ice cream, and then I work out. So we'll get into this more in future dates, but you know, this is really the charts. It just makes it amazing what these charts will do with showing us how blood sugar control works. Now, this is hopefully all up on the green screen behind me. I'm sitting in a chair right now. I should be on a stool. I'm really working on trying to get this area set up better. I'm very limited on space. But hey, I got to start somewhere. I got to start making videos so I can show this stuff to you guys, and you can see what it's like to be a diabetic. And then we're going to learn how to beat our A1Cs. And what I'm thinking right here with this chart, okay, I feel like if this insulin that I took at 9 o'clock right here, if we bump that back to maybe right here, we might chop off half of this rise. Does that make sense? Which means that this number instead would be like this. However, what that could also mean, and this is where it gets very crazy, is if I take this 15 minutes earlier, this low could be 15 minutes earlier, and I'm not trying to draw something phallic here, which means my blood sugar could have been doing this, right? We don't want that. We don't want that drop way down into no man's land just to try to then get the food on the way back up. Kind of defeats the purpose. So somewhere in this general area is the sweet spot for taking the insulin. We just got to find it, and we're going to work on it together, and you guys are going to get to watch me do it. If you want to see more of stuff like this, I need you to hit this like and the subscribe button. Hit the bell icon so you can notify me. Also check out beatyoura1c.com. It's kind of a great place you can go to look. I'll be releasing videos there, which will link back to YouTube, but you'll be able to see whenever I add up a new video there, or just have the bell icon set up here. I do have a new subscriber list that you can access from beatyoura1c.com. It's all one word. And I hope you guys come back to check on one. I did some just some strawberries that's going to be coming up next, and we'll see how that affects my blood glucose levels for a day. So thanks for checking it out. I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.